Welcome to Podcasts, recorded live at the Center for Spiritual Living in Portland, Oregon. We have many programs, classes, and workshops developed just for our online audience. To find out more, go to our website at cslportland.org and look under the Online tab. Our mission is to open hearts, ignite minds, and make a difference. If you'd like to support our center and its video podcast, you can donate online at cslportland.org/donate. Allow us to become part of your extended spiritual community. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are most welcome at the Center for Spiritual Living.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Would you please open your bulletin and find a... Yeah, it's pink. It's pink. Thank you, Nancy. Holy, holy way. Oh, would everybody stand who's able? Okay, you guys are so obedient. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me know that love is all around.
Let me know that love is all around.
Oh, let me know that love is all around.
Let me know that love is all around me.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me learn from all the ways I fall.
Let me learn from all the ways I fall.
Oh, let me know that love will heal us all.
Let me know that love will heal us all.
Oh, let me walk each day a little wise.
Let me walk each day a little wiser.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love
in a holy, holy way.
Thank you so much for that lovely love opening that we are loving in a holy way here and right now at the Portland for Spiritual Living. We are a Science of Mind community that teaches spiritual principles to transform your life and make the whole world a better place. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are absolutely welcome here. All that we ask is you stay open to the possibility of changing your life, beginning with changing your mind. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're live streaming in from, you are welcome. Today, tomorrow, sometime in the future, there is no difference in time. It all is right here. My name is Catherine Richer, and I serve as a licensed spiritual practitioner here, and it is my joy to welcome you. If you're new to the center and in person, there are welcome packets that look like this on the table in the back of the sanctuary. We welcome you here. If you're on Facebook, say in the chat if you're new. If you're here and new, we'd love to see a hand wave, and we can wave at you as well and welcome you. So grateful you chose to be here, everyone here and virtual. So grateful that you're here. Yay. If you, for our global community, the same information that is in here is all available on our website at cslportland.org under the About Us menu tab. Either way, you'll find a lot of information about who we are and how we might serve you and how you might contribute to the center as well with your presence and otherwise. Also on the website, you can sign up for weekly emails that detail our events, register for our fantastic classes, and even get a free gift on your birthday. Who all here has a birthday at some point in their life? Yes, thank you. So get a free birthday gift and use them. And I'll give you a little secret about the birthday gift. I'm going to let the cat totally out of the box. It is for a complimentary session with a licensed practitioner. So what a gift to give to yourself and for us to give to you. We do have a new membership gathering on September 17th at 12:30 Pacific time. This is going to be both in person and on Zoom. You can join our licensed practitioner, Sean A.B. Larkin, to explore the basics of what we believe, what we offer, and what membership would mean for you in this short class. He's providing food for people in service. And in addition to the joy of becoming a member of the center, only our center members can vote for our new senior minister once candidates have been identified. For those who are new, we are in the process of seeking candidates for our senior minister position. And so our members are going to be in the process of voting once we identify them for sure, and you'll know all about that as it arrives. So again, love to see you. Registration is required, so please come to that. A few educational opportunities happening this month I want to let you know about. There is a Beloved Community virtual class that's a half-day Zoom workshop facilitated by licensed practitioners Kate Barrett and Kathy Batten. Is that correct? And Nancy Ashley. Thank you. I have them mixed up with the next class I'm talking about. This one is 1 to 4 o'clock on Saturday, September 16th. Again, it is on Zoom. And this is going to explore the concepts that brought together Thich Nhat Hanh, who is a Vietnamese Buddhist monk, and Martin Luther King Jr., the African-American Baptist minister, what brought them together as brothers in the beloved community. So they'll take a look at how to create a world that works for all with nonviolence, unity, non-judgment, gender equality, lack of hierarchy, and much more. So please register for that. Again, that's Saturday, September 16th. Also, for the first time, we are offering the Advanced Consciousness Studies. This is the first term of 3, and it's a virtual class, 9 weeks, beginning on Thursday, September 21st, and ending on the 26th from 6 to 9 p.m., so 3 hours every week. And so this is also going to be on a Zoom classroom, and it's co-facilitated by Reverend Marilyn Sprague and Ann Forrest Burns. So this is a mastery-level course that will guide you on a journey toward what it means to practice the science of mind and be fully human and fully divine. Yeah, sometimes that feels like a bit of a tightrope. How are we fully human and fully divine? So this term's focus is on spiritual consciousness. So registration is required for this class, and there are prerequisites, so please visit our website for further information, and would love to see you there as well. And I invite you to our website to look at everything we have in the way of education and our events and all of our other programs. Remember that everything is Pacific time. We are in Portland, Oregon here. So this is a very practical note. It's hot pink in your flyers. Anyone in the center today, online, you don't have to worry about this, but we do have a new parking thing going on here. We have a great relationship with the Art of Maintenance Repair Shop on Sundays. However, it is fenced now in parts of that. And so if you choose to park inside that fenced area, we do need you to move your car by 12:30 if you're not already gone. I made that mistake last week and was here 1:45. Somebody here's running around. Does anybody have the black car with Cosmic One license plates? I'm like, it's not me. Ben thought it was him. Sorry, Ben. That was me. So please do keep this in mind. We do have volunteers that will be locking the gates, so they can't do that until all the cars are gone, and they can't stay forever. So please be mindful of that. If you have questions about that, you can ask somebody afterwards and hope it's not your car. So there's a practical thing. Okay, so today our licensed practitioners, Kathy Batten and Sylvia Miller, are serving on High Watch. They are holding a sacred container of consciousness in the sanctuary and for our virtual community. Thank you for your service. Today, our special music features a mystery performer, because I really don't know who it is. Ken! Yes, Ken Brewer from our own wonderful Friends Band. So wonderful. Thank you. Great. Looking forward to that. Today's message is called I Love Myself So Much. How about that? They're already there with you. And this is by our guest speaker, Reverend Gayle Dillon. We're delighted to have you here speaking about that. So, welcome. Yeah. Flowers are courtesy of Kat Jacobs, and every single one is from her own garden. Thank you, Kat, for your gardening magic. Beautiful. So, with all of that, I invite you to sit back and just relax. Allow yourself to be fully present here in this beautiful space, in this beautiful place of love and essence, because I know that somewhere between the community, the music, the meditation, and the message is exactly what your heart came to receive.
All take a breath and relax and get ready for our quiet meditation time. I embrace the new, I accept a new way of thinking. I embrace the new, I accept a new way of thinking. I accept, I allow, I embrace, and I say yes, yes, yes. I say yes, yes, yes. I say yes. I say yes. I embrace the new. I accept a new way of thinking. I embrace the new, I accept a new way of thinking. I accept, I allow, I embrace. I say yes, yes, yes. I say yes, yes, yes. I say yes. I say yes.
And in this place of yes, we say yes to all that is. We say yes to the one power, the one presence, the one infinite intelligence, the power that is back of absolutely everything, the first source, the primal force, the presence that is never an absence, the presence that is every wave, every beam of light. It is the essence of all of life. And that infinite intelligence that is the perfect pattern at the center of all creation. And that center is everywhere, and the circumference is nowhere. So the perfection is everywhere and everything always. And it is this one thing that expresses itself in, through, and as everything. All that is seen, all that is unseen, from the tiniest of known particles to the furthest reaches of the stars in the furthest of the galaxies, all the way down through this beautiful Milky Way home, solar system, life-giving sun, precious earth, and all within and upon it. And I know that this means me. I know that I am an individualized expression of life itself. And as this is the truth of me, I know that it is the truth of everyone within the sound and the reaches of my voice. I know that everyone is a unique and perfect, whole, complete emanation of, embodiment of the divine, of life itself. We are born of love's desire. And knowing this to be the truth of who we are, I speak my word for and about everyone, and I call forth love. Love. A love that transcends sentimentality. A love that is grounded in knowing that love is the unity, the unifying force, that which binds all together, that which gathers everything unto itself, that harmonizes everything. This is love and the essence of love from which all is birthed. All is desired from this place, and all is realized from this place. And so even as we recognize the power of love, and we embrace it, and we live it, and we feel it, in every aspect of our lives and our beings, in simple moments of the day and deepest, deepest transformation, our lives unfold with more beauty, more joy, more love than we had even imagined, and we say yes. And in gratitude to know the truth of the love essence, I release my word into the divine creative law, mind, that unconditional love, that place that always says yes, the cosmic womb of all of creation that always says yes. I simply let it be, and I allow it to be with a grateful heart. We say together, and so it is. And I invite you to feel deeply into the essence of love that is within and all around you right now as we enter into a few moments of silent meditation.
Good morning. Good morning. Wow, I had my back turned to all of you. It filled up. Welcome, everybody. I'm Reverend Gayle Dillon. Good morning. You said good evening, good afternoon, because you're streaming, so who knows? Like she said, it could be today, could be tomorrow, could be sometime in the future. How about if you really loved yourself out loud? What would that look like? Not only what would it look like, what would it feel like if you truly embraced the truth of who you are? And the truth of who you are is God in form. So that's where we start. Because if God is only love, then how could you not love yourself if you're it in form? So Brene Brown says in her book, The Gifts of Imperfection, a deep sense of love and belonging, and it is an irreducible need of all people. We are biologically, cognitively, physically, and spiritually wired to love, to be loved, and to belong. When those needs are not met, we don't function as we were meant to. We break, we fall apart, we numb out, we ache, we hurt others, we get sick. How many of you have been there at some time in your life? I could raise both my hands. If I had more hands, I'd raise them too.
Raise your toes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm raising my toes right now in case you didn't see them. And so it's about being brave enough to realize that you're lovable and therefore you can love others. Because I believe, because I spent a good portion of my life not thinking I was lovable, and yet expecting people to love me, and guess what? Didn't work. People didn't really love me. I attracted people that were unkind. And there was a time in my life that I would point out to them and say it was their fault. And yet once I changed who I was, once I started to realize and really embrace this philosophy that we teach, because to me, it's really great that we all show up here on Sunday, because that's community, right? It's really great that you sit there and you pay attention and you listen to what I have to say. You'll nod your heads, you'll smile. But if you go home and scream at your partner, or like I could say, kick your dog, you're not living this philosophy. You're falling into old habits. How many of you watched CBS Sunday Morning, or at least know what I'm talking about? It's a magazine program every Sunday morning in Washington. It's on at 7 o'clock in the morning, probably the same time in Portland. And every week, Steve Hartman has a little segment, almost every week. He has a segment, and it's about humanity and how we really are kind to each other. You know, one of the ones I remember, not the short story I'm going to share today, but a short one was, there was a deaf girl that lived in a small town. And when the town found out she'd been born deaf, they all, every single one of them, learned sign language so she could feel part of. That's who we are. And I think we forget that when we get caught up in the news, or when we drive down the street and we see things that are offensive to us, that we forget that we're those people. And so the story I want to share is about a man who lived in Pennsylvania, and he had a roofing business. He was a handyman. That was his business in this small town. And then he fell off a roof. And he decided he should probably do something that kept him closer to the ground. So he became a school bus driver. And this was his retirement year. He says he has over 200 kids. None of them are biological. Every year they'd show up for family reunions. All the kids would get together, and as they got older, they'd bring their kids. He married some of them because he became a pastor. He only had 2 rules to ride on his bus. You will love and respect everybody on this bus, or you don't ride. Think about that. What if every day we pretended, I can't walk out of my house today unless I'm going to love and respect everybody I meet, regardless if they're living in a tent or they're living in a mansion, whether they're shopping at Nordstrom's or shopping at Walmart. It doesn't matter. We are all here for a purpose, every single one of us. And I think we forget that. I forgot it recently. You know, when I found this philosophy, it cracked me wide open. I told people at one time that if somebody had said, you know, all you have to do is take a penny and roll it with your nose back and forth, and you'll get better, I would have done it. I was hungry to change my life, and this was my answer. And then I became a practitioner, and we're always practitioners. In fact, Ernest Holmes would say we're all practitioners. But just because you become a minister, for me anyway, doesn't mean that I'm not a practitioner. I'm a practitioner first. I believe in my heart, I'm a practitioner first. So I became a practitioner, and then I got the calling, and I went to school, and I became a minister, and I started a center. And then we moved to Seattle, and life was really good. And then I got this call to be at the ocean in Long Beach, Washington. There's not a lot of new thought going on in Long Beach, Washington. That's just honest. Not that there can't be. Wait till the end of the story. So, I kind of felt that I was done with ministry. I don't know if the practitioners ever felt that way. I think God just laughs out loud. It's like, oh, honey, get over yourself. You know, you can't be done with this, just so you know. As a practitioner or minister, if you ever feel that you are, you aren't. It's a calling. It's not a job. And so, but, you know, I thought, oh, I'll take Jack Canfield's training. I'll become a Canfield trainer. And then people that were in Canfield training were like, oh, I love this. It so changed my life. I still didn't get it. I became an ULA coach. If you've never read their book, it's fabulous. Now, here's the thing about ULA in Canfield. It's secular science of mind. That is all it is. They are teaching what we teach. They just aren't telling people, did you know you're God-informed and that you can do whatever you want to do? Did you know that? So I did the training, and then one day I thought, and you know, it was after I spoke here on Father's Day, and I thought, God, I miss community. And if there's not a community in Long Beach, then guess who gets to start one? So starting on October 11th, which is a Wednesday, I'm going to start a Wednesday night gathering. And I'm excited about it, and people are excited about it. Why did I do that? Because what I realized when people talked about how much they loved Jack Canfield, how much his teaching changed their life, or how much they loved the ULA guys and how ULA changed their life, I would sit there and think, they didn't change my life. Science of mind changed my life. Religious science changed my life. Centers for Spiritual Living, whatever we want to call ourselves. This changed my life. This did. And to really grab hold of that and talk about it and share that with people without worrying about what they think. Because here's the truth. Every single one of us that isn't living our life's purpose, we aren't doing it because we're afraid of what people will think. Or we're not doing it because we're afraid. We're just afraid. Is there anybody out there right now that thinks, ooh, I wouldn't mind being a practitioner or a minister? I dare you to raise your hand, because I know there's somebody. There's always somebody. I see a hand moving, not waving, but he's going like this. There's always somebody, and all I can say to you is if you have that call, you can ignore it for the rest of your life. And if you ignore it, I promise you, you will not be living to your full potential. And so then what happens is happiness is just right about there all the time in your life. Just almost, you can almost touch it. Sometimes they're really great, but it's just, you're not living it. And if you're not living it, you can't experience it. Now, are we all supposed to be licensed practitioners and ministers? Heck no, it'd get very crowded up here. Wouldn't it? It would get very crowded up here, so no. However, there are ways we can all serve. There are things we can all do. We can sing. We can play drums. We can play guitar. We can play keyboard. We can dance. Whether we do it professionally or just do it for fun. There is a way to live your life out loud. And when you live your life out loud is when you truly love yourself. And I'll be honest, I'm still learning that. Because I still have my mother up in my head saying, that's not very ladylike. You're really too loud. You shouldn't wear that out in public. Right? Anybody else got that person in their head? Probably her name's not Gert. Was my mom's name. Whether it was a male or a female, whether it was your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your teacher, whoever it was, remember. Whatever they're saying, it's a projection of their belief. It's not the truth of who you are. It has nothing to do with who you are. A lot of it, especially with parents, all they're trying to do is protect us. You know, just be like everybody else. If you're like everybody else, you'll fit in. And that's what we're supposed to do. Did you know that Ernest Holmes actually said we're not supposed to fit in? I think I might have, hang on just a second, I might have brought that up. I didn't bring it up here, so it's okay. But he actually said we're not supposed to fit in. You're a unique, individualized manifestation of God. Unique, individualized. Where does that say you're supposed to follow a herd? Right? It would be pretty boring if we all looked alike, we all dressed alike, we all spoke the same language. It would be boring. That is why we're here. So God can experience life through us and as us. And yet still, we let that voice get in our head. Sometimes we wake up, or at least I do, 3 o'clock in the morning, eyes will just pop open and I'll think, oh, stop it. Quit telling yourself that stuff. Just stop. And it's a process to really do something that excites you. How many of you know deep down inside you're not living the life you really believe you should be living, for whatever reason? Right. Who's stopping you? Who's stopping you? You. Okay. Who's stopping you? You? Yeah. I'm not stopping you. I'm here to encourage you. Think about how exciting it would be if we were all living our best life. You know, I heard you say, oh, I love that song. I wish I had a voice, number one. And number two, I wish I could remember the tune. But there is actually a song that CSL kids learn. And it's, I love myself so much that I will love you so much that you will love you so much that you can start loving me. I think that's brilliant. It is brilliant because love starts like everything else. It starts within. You aren't going to get it out here. Although it's nice if you have a partner and you have that kind of relationship that you love and support each other. I do, and I feel very, very blessed. However, I didn't find that partner until I loved myself enough to attract that partner into my life. Right? You have to fill yourself up. You have to decide, I am worth the time. I am worth the time to meditate every day. I'm worth the time. If it means I have to get up a half hour earlier than I do today, I'll do it. I'm worth the time. Why? Because when you're going to hear that divine voice, that inspiration, is when you're quiet. And have you ever tried to be quiet when when life is happening all around you? Now, there have been times I've led meditations and say, oh, just make the outside noise part of your meditation. And that's great, and it's true. However, to really sit in silence and just be still and listen. And I will promise you, if you haven't done this ever, or if you haven't done this in a long time, you'll do one of these. Right? Every minute you think you've been there a half hour. It's not easy to be quiet. For me anyway. It's not easy. Because my mind races. I've got tinnitus, so I hear this constant buzzing in my ears. I got all kinds of excuses why I can't be still and quiet, and yet it's a choice. Just like loving yourself is a choice. It is a choice. And it's a choice I think you need to make every single day. You wake up in the morning. What if you woke up in the morning and said, I love myself so much? Just that. How would that shift your day energetically? Right? I love myself so much. And so it's a way to be, not it's a way to be, well, it is a way to be. It is a way, I believe, for us to move through this time that we're going through right now. I don't think it's a mistake that any one of us chose to be on this planet at this time. And we may look at it and think, oh, this is awful and that's awful. And it's life. It is life. And so how do you choose to respond? Are you going to respond by getting all uptight? Are you going to respond in anger? Are you going to respond pointing out why that person over there is wrong because you have to be right? Do you know that we could both be right at the same time? Because we choose to believe what we believe. Right? You will run into people, if you start talking about this philosophy, you will run into people that are going to say, oh, that's a cult. Yes. Here's a secret. Look up the definition of cult. Everything's a cult where 3 or more of us are gathered. Everything. So that would include all the major religions, just saying. Everything. So just say, oh, thanks. You don't have to argue with them. I remember when I posted online, I posted a quote or something online, and a gentleman decided he would comment on it and tell me why I was wrong about my quote, because it wasn't in alignment with what he believed. And I said, that's really interesting, and I appreciate you sharing your truth with me, and that's not my truth. And then he wrote back again, and I wrote back again, and I thought, you got to stop this, because we're just going to be like this all. And I wasn't saying he was wrong. I just kept reiterating, thank you for sharing. And then another guy came in to kind of support him. And I didn't think they knew each other. I still don't. And so how I ended the conversation was, Bob, meet Harry. You two obviously have a lot to talk about. Please do it on your Facebook page. Right? Right? Don't get into arguments with people. You are not going to change anybody's mind unless they want their mind changed. What you can do is love them. Scares them to death. Have you ever had somebody really mad at you and you smile at them and go, uh-huh? And they're like, well, okay. I think that you're odd or strange or scary. Why would you smile at me? Well, because if I don't believe what you're saying to me is true, I won't have a reaction. So when somebody says something to you and it's hurtful, I want you to remember what they're telling you is, I have found a place in you that needs to be healed. Right? I am finding a place in you that you need to heal. So you could thank them. Wow, thanks for pointing that out. I thought that I'd healed that already. Obviously not. Right? It was a gift somebody gave me one time when she said, when somebody comes up to you and says something, just take a breath and ask yourself, I wondered why I handed that person that script. Now think about that. I wonder why I handed that person that script. Because remember what we believe. We are attracting to us all the time who we believe we are, what energy we are sending out into the world. And so instead of doing the dance and getting into the argument, just take a stand. Okay, that's interesting. That really bothered me. I wonder why. Now that's a conversation you're having to yourself, not with them, because they're like, oh, I can tell you why. But have that conversation. Find out. Okay, I really thought, so when Paul and I first met, I had very, very abusive relationships with men who found it interesting to stray, if you will. I don't know how else to put it. I wasn't enough, I guess. I don't know. However, what I realized when Paul and I met, he wasn't those people. Except there was part of me, even though I was clean and sober and I found my way into science of mind and had been going religiously, was taking classes, there was still part of me that was waiting for him to turn out to be like every other guy in my life. But instead of letting that happen, what I would say to him is, okay, this has nothing to do with you, just so you know. But when you did this, he happens to like women in high heels. Okay? So he would look at them. And I could see him looking at him, and I would be like that red monster would just, wah. And I would say to him, so when you do that, this is how I feel. And he laughed, which was great. Why would you feel that way? I adore you. They're just heels. I don't even know if he ever made it up past the ankles. What happened is, I can point out heels quicker to him now than he can see them. Honey, 12 o'clock, look at those. Right? It's how, so it doesn't bother me anymore. So now, he can have deep, long conversations with a woman, and I'm not hanging out over his shoulder wondering if, they're going to make a coffee date. Right? Because I don't have that energy anymore. That was my energy. That's how you love yourself so much. You find out why it bothers you, and then you figure out how to heal it. Now, how many practitioners do we have in the room right now? You want to heal something? You see these people that raise their hands. Keep your hands up for a minute so they can look around and see who you are. Right? After service, there's going to be some people up here that will pray with you. They have prayer cards. Here's what I know about practitioners. They love to pray. Love it, love it, love it. And if you don't give them the opportunity, it's kind of like wasted energy, right? They come here hoping that you'll come up here after service. And so use that. That's part of the tools that you get by being part of this community. Love yourself enough that when you start to slide into despair, or I don't like myself, or life is hard, or whatever those things are, pick up the phone and call a practitioner. Because here's what I know, and practitioners, if I'm wrong, stop me before I get it out. If you call a practitioner and you're in a place where you need prayer right now, nobody's going to say to you, oh, and my rates are. Not one of them. Correct, ladies, gentlemen? Yes, correct. Yeah. Their instinct, my instinct, the first thing we want to do is pray our consciousness to know that you're whole. Our consciousness to know that you're love informed. Our consciousness to know that you are that unique manifestation of God. How could you not be? You know, Reverend Susie used to talk about our teaching symbol, and the circle itself means everything inside of it is God. And I used to think I sat on the outside of that circle, and she said, wow, you really think you're special, don't you? I had that kind of minister. She just brought you up by your straps. I do not think I'm special. And she goes, well, then you're inside the circle. Because nobody's outside the circle. None of us. We either know we're inside the circle or we're inside the circle waiting to be awakened. And so just remember who you are. Just remember who you are. There's that song, I am remembering who I am. Remember who you are. And so I want to, we'll do a prayer, but I wanted to close with something that Ernest Holmes read at a Silomar, Sermon at the Sea. And I think it was the last time he spoke at a Silomar. I'm not going to read the whole thing or we'd be here a long time. But I thought this was powerful. And so this is Ernest Holmes, and I guess me. You are religious science. I am not. I am only the one who puts something together. I do not even take myself seriously, but I take what I do seriously. You are religious science. Our ministers, our teachers, our practitioners, our lay people. You find me 1,000 people in the world who know what religious science is and use it and live it as it is, and I myself will live to see a new world, a new heaven, a new earth, right here. There is a cosmic power wrapped up in a cosmic consciousness and easy for me to say, that is equal to the vision which looses it. You can be that. Every single one of you has that power and presence to love yourself so much that the world will love you back. Think about what our world would look like. Let's pray. So I just know that that presence, that power, that one that I feel and know within me is love. It is God. It is that magnificence, that infinite source of all good. It knows no opposite. Anything unlike it is a human condition. And I know that I'm one with that. I have that power and presence within me already. It is the truth of who I am, and it is the truth of who I am. It certainly is the truth of who all of you are. Each and every one of you, God in form. And so I declare right here and right now, as we venture out into our lives this week, that we remember I love myself so much. So very, very much. Because I know I am loved from within and around and through me and as me by that divine presence. It's always been there. It is the truth of who I am. And so I call in that power and presence, that love. And when I go out into the world, I go out a little lighter, a little brighter. And I smile. And I say hello. And I remember there are people out there that don't know about the gift that they have living within them. And my only job is to look into their eyes and to remind them of who they are. And so I embrace this. I know this, I am this. The love that is God is me. The love that is God is you. The love that is God is everywhere. As Ernest Holmes lovingly would say, there is not a spot that God is not. And so knowing that and embracing that, I just say thank you, God. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for this community. Thank you for knowing I am love. I release these words into the law and knowing that it is as it is spoken, it is so. God has said yes. And it is in that yes that we let go, we let God, and together we say, Namaste.
We hope you enjoyed today's podcast. If you happen to be in the Portland, Oregon area, we'd love to have you visit in person. The Portland Center for Spiritual Living is located at 6211 Northeast Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Our inspirational service is at 11 a.m. every Sunday. We also have many programs, classes, and workshops developed just for our online audience. To find out more, go to our website at cslportland.org and look under the Online tab. We have a variety of content dedicated specifically for our podcast listeners. Our mission is to open hearts, ignite minds, and make a difference. If you'd like to support our center and its podcasts, you can donate online at cslportland.org/donate. Our website is also the place to learn more about what's going on at the center or to contact us. Allow us to become part of your extended spiritual community. Wherever you are in your spiritual journey, you are most welcome at the Center for Spiritual Living.